Oh, then you want to play Jeezy?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to play. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hey, hey, hey. We can only play like 20 seconds, so that's about it, though.
It's such a good guitar riff.
It is, man. It is football season, ladies and gentlemen. Football season. College football. We already did our predictions. Y'all know how it is, man. It's been a crazy first week in college football. Go back and listen to our predictions, as well as go back and listen to the Around the League edition of episode 69 out. Now we're about to do our, what'd you tell us? You about to do our NFL special? I
told y'all.
What?
Please listen to me and listen to me good. I told y'all that Florida was better than a lot of these guys. If you look at the rankings now, I guess the lights have come on. People have figured out that Anthony Richardson is good. This is right in time for the professional and the NFL preview. But once again, I can show you what I do absolutely best, better than everyone else, ever.
What do you do?
We're finna see. We are about to see, my friend.
Oh, is that smoking shots and being braggadocious? I think you had that
was me feeling. I am feeling fantastic. As my team is now top 25 ranked team, I am feeling good. Woo! And I have another team that everybody has their sleeping bags out on. So yeah, I'm underappreciated right now.
Who's the other team that everybody has their sleeping bags out on? The Hawks?
The Falcons.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna be sleep now. It's not gonna be, comatose. They were comatose on our record. They can still sleep on us. You gonna get some good rest.
You saw we got sent today. 32nd team in the NFL, absolute worst. You think that we are worse than everybody else?
No, we're definitely not worse than everybody else, and that's why we're here, y'all. We are here to do this prediction, and basically we want to go through the entire league and look at the teams, not one by one, really look at them by division. We're going to pick the division winners. We're going to pick playoff seeding, who we think, and we're basically going to do like a playoff bracket, and who's going to make it to the AFC Championship, who's going to make it to the NFC Championship, and who's going to be in the Super Bowl, who wins the Super Bowl. And if we have time, we'll talk about superlatives, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year. We might do offensive and defensive rookie of the year. You never know. We'll see. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me get my notes pulled up. Shut in. Let me get my notes pulled up. We are about to get started, man. So let's start where you said. The Falcons, we're going to talk about the Falcons. We're an Atlanta team. As you can see right there, World Series champions is right there behind me.
Atlanta Brave World Series champions. Let's make sure we clarify that.
Yes, sir.
I think that the Falcons would never mislead you straight like that. Nope, wouldn't do that to you.
No, what I'm saying, we're an Atlanta-based podcast. We are going to talk about the Falcons. We are going to talk about them first. So let's go ahead and talk about the NFC South, my brother.
And let us do it. All right. How you want to start with? Let's start with the Falcons. I'm hesitantly excited about the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we overperformed last year considering our roster. I think I look forward to us having a second season of performing better than people expect us to, which I mean the bar is pretty low because, like you and I just recently discussed, they think that we're the absolute worst team in the NFL, which I think is mind blowing. As much as I don't think we're the best team in the NFL, we are not the worst. I've seen the worst, and we are not it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Not it. Do I think that we're probably in the bottom third of the NFL? That might be a fair assessment. But what we are not is the cellar. We are not the basement. There are teams that are worse than us, Giants.
Well, let's start with our own division. Since we're gonna start with the Falcons, let's start with our own division, Shadin.
And our first stepping stone.
There's no way that I believe that the Carolina Panthers are better than the Atlanta Falcons. There's no way I
That's
believe
not
that.
their name. That's not their name. Their name is the Carolina Baker Mayfields. And no, I I can't get behind it because their wide receiver did not want their quarterback. That in itself is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The best player on your team is made of paper mache. I think Christian McCaffrey is good when he plays, but the issue is he does not play nearly enough. And if you're going to send Baker over there, he's done a lot worse with a lot more. I don't know what you expect out of him with this.
Yeah. So they do have. I don't believe in the Panthers because of injuries, right? One, for everything you said about Baker Mayfield, their main weapon has been Christian McCaffrey for the last, since he's been in the league. He's been the dual threat he's been fantasy football running back number one. And outside of his one breakout season, he's always gotten hurt. He's the man made of glass. I will say he's very talented if he stays healthy, but he hasn't shown us that he can stay healthy. So I have no reason to believe in him. And Chuba Hubbard, yeah, he's there. He's a placeholder. I think he could be something. He's fast, but he's not Christian McCaffrey. And then after that, you have questions on their defense. They have a secondary. They just lost Stephon Gilmore. They do have J.C. Horn. They do have Derek Brown. Their linebackers are, I believe, they lost Shaq Thompson. I think they lost him. I can't remember. But anyway, they do have a hole in their defense, a lot of holes in their defense that they have to plug. They're a very young team. And Matt Rule is now going into his third quarterback in 3 years trying to pick up his system.
Quarterback that was fired. Don't leave that part out. You got this guy because he was fired. Sent to Alcatraz. After being equipped with all the weapons that a human could respectfully ask for on offense and defense.
He couldn't do it. They would have rather went and gotten somebody with questionable background over you.
So do you think that the weapons are better in Cleveland, or you think they're better in Carolina?
Right now?
Yes, today.
I'd have to say Cleveland. I'd have to say Cleveland.
I would say substantially. I kind of
who's Cleveland? Yo, that's right. I forgot they got Amari Cooper. Yeah, I was trying to think of their wide receivers.
Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, what's the guy who was used to play with the Chiefs who wants out? Kareem Hunt, that's who it is. David Njoku, Myles Garrett.
Everybody.
Yeah, they got it.
They got everybody.
Yes.
Because
you think that you're going to go in Carolina? If you can't get it in Cleveland, you sure as hell can't get it in Carolina. And I have big questions about Matt Rule and how much longer he's going to be able to stick around. This team could be completely deleted and wiped out here soon. Everybody off of it.
So you think, for one, I don't think that they make the playoffs, but I'll get to my seeding. I think they have a strong possibility of coming in fourth in the division. And if Matt Rule comes in fourth in the division, he probably gets fired.
Control, alt, delete, even though that's not fair. Just control, alt, delete, wipe the whole thing. McCaffrey, we got to do something with you. Everybody else, you can just go home. We don't even, none of this. They found themselves somehow in a worse situation than the Atlanta Falcons. That's tough to do, but you did it. You rewrote the alma mater. Let's get to these Aints.
So the Saints, man. The Aints are now replacing Drew Brees. It did not work last year. They used Taysom Hill, a couple other quarterback receivers, whatever you want to call them, because Jameis Winston got hurt. They now have Jameis Winston back. They drafted Chris Olave. They have Michael Thomas back, allegedly.
You got Tamus.
Taysom Hill is now going to be a full-time H-back. Tight end / running back, multi-use player, except he won't be playing quarterback. They also they still have that defense, although they did lose Chauncey Gardner-Wilson, who's the safety. They still have that defensive line. Cam Jordan is still Cam Jordan. Their linebackers are still good. Demario Davis is still pretty good. this is a strong team. This is the strongest if ever. Like, if everybody stays healthy, I could see them being second in the division.
You think that
I didn't even mention Kamara.
who's their coach?
Nobody knows who their coach is.
Exactly. This is no longer a Sean Payton team. It's a Dennis Allen team.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton was one of their super strengths. That's one of the things that made this team what it was. I'm not sure if I believe in anything without Sean Payton attached to it. Kamara is going to be who he's supposed to be. Michael Thomas, he's hurt right now.
Right now, I don't know what he did, but he is hurt.
So no, I don't understand. I can understand how somebody who's not the most informed could feel confident about the Saints, but if you really know what's going on over there, I don't know how you could be comfortable with any of this.
The Saints are the team that I don't feel got better, right? I don't.
Nope.
I feel like every move that they did, they lost Chauncey Gardner-Wilson. They lost Sean Payton a couple years ago. They still haven't really. I mean, Dennis Allen is cool. I mean, he's a good defensive coach, but I don't. They are one of the biggest unknowns because they didn't do anything substantial in the offseason.
I'm a firm believer.
Even their
that
draft
always,
was. I mean, Chris Olave was good, but
you're trending in one direction, either positively or negatively. Nobody stays right here flat at homeostasis. And I feel like they're trending downward. It may be it might not be the drop off that Atlanta was or the drop off. No, it wasn't even a drop off, just Panthers being themselves, but they're kind of tailing off. That's the reason I feel confident that if Atlanta at least puts things in motion here in the next year or so, they can be at least the second best team in the NFC South. And of course, we never know what the other team looks like without Tom Brady.
Fair. So then it comes to the Bucks and the Falcons. The Falcons were picked to be 32nd in the league. We have a second-year coach, first-year starting quarterback. We lost Calvin Ridley for the whole year for suspension. We drafted Drake London, but he is questionable for the first game against the Aints.
Nope, healthy. Practiced yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, then we drafted Drake London, got Kyle Pitts, literally brought in every other tall receiver to try out for the team. Ended up with Bryan Edwards. Not really settled on running back. I believe Allgeier and Cordero Patterson will be the running backs. Damian Williams will be too, but I would rather see Allgeier, to be honest. He runs harder. I would like to see Cordero Patterson used in a similar way that they're going to use Taysom Hill. Just use him everywhere. And then you have the beast known as the Freak, a.k.a. Javon Curse playing offense. Kyle Pitts from the University of Florida. So he is, Put some respect on your name?
Put some respect on my name.
Hey, man, you ain't give me no props on that one. I called out 2 Gators.
That's fair. I'll take it.
So the Falcons go as far as Marcus Mariota and Dennis Ritter take us. Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter, number 1, and we go as far as Arthur Smith lets Marcus Mariota go, because it's not about how we. Nope. This is the frustrating part about it. Is I don't think our season starts until Mariota
gets hurt or doesn't play. Don't say hurt.
Gets supplanted. Yes.
Gets supplanted as starter.
Yes, that's when I think our season starts. But I think we have winnable games at the beginning. So I don't know how you can take a guy who we hope is winning and put him on the bench, unless he's just not. He's the sole reason that we're not being better. Which I just don't. As not great as I think he is, I don't think he will ever be the reason that your team is bad.
Marcus Mariota? No, he's okay. This is not meant as disrespect. But in math terms, he's a 0. He doesn't really hurt you and he doesn't help you. He is literally a placeholder. in the
Yep.
NFL. In college, he was good, but in the NFL, he was a placeholder. I think he's here to serve his purpose. I think he'll get through the certain amount of games. Now, if he comes out of the gate just on fire, and our first
You
four
ain't gotta worry
games,
about that.
our first four games are at home versus the Saints, at LA, at Seattle versus Cleveland.
2 up, 2 down.
If he can go
Really
2-1,
but it need to go 500 just to keep your job.
if he can go 2-2, he keeps his job. The next four games are Bucks, 49ers, at Bucks versus 49ers, at Cincinnati versus Carolina.
He just gets fired in there for no reason.
I
He's gonna
feel
lose enough games that they're just gonna be able to fire him, but he probably won't be fired for cause.
so that takes you through October. Around November, we get to the Chargers at Carolina, Chicago, Washington, Pittsburgh. That would be the ideal place for Desmond Ridder to be inserted into the lineup. You already are familiar with Carolina. You're playing against. Now, I don't know if I would put him against the Chargers, but I also don't know if I want to start him on the road because you'd be starting him at Carolina. But play him against Carolina, play him against Chicago, play him against Washington, play him against the Steelers.
I think he's in there before then.
You do? You think I think that's the best place for him to be inserted into the lineup is with the Panthers. There's no other place to insert him in the lineup except for unless if you go before, were you going to play him at the Bengals, home versus the 49ers, at the Bucks, home versus the Browns?
Not the Bucks, not Bosa. Nah, I guess you're right. I guess he just lives until then. I just hope that because you don't want to lose the locker room trying to. You don't want to lose the season trying to protect your quarterback. But you might have to make a decision between. That's the reason he might get out there before then, because I get that you're trying to protect him, but he might not even be the future. So it's not a whole lot of reason to protect him if we're not gonna, go with this. Yeah, we might as well see. Once it turns bad, go ahead and get him in there. And if he can right the ship, then great. If not, then we might as well look at what quarterbacks we got this year. It's not unreasonable.
That's fair. So let's go ahead and pick.
But hold on.
Okay.
With the Falcons, we got to get incrementally better. We don't have to win a ton of games to get to a successful season. I think 5 games, 6 games would be more than successful for us. I do want, and Drake London, there's going to be pressure on you from day one because you're coming behind Kyle Pitts. So they're going to expect that same level of production because you got a guy who's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you already. That should be able to get you in space and help you out. And just coming behind the rookie of the year, they're going to be looking at you for the same level of production. I don't know if that's fair, but I know what I expect. This is a chance for AJ Terrell to, really plan himself.
Man, we didn't even talk about the defense. Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, AJ Terrell. This is your opportunity to kind of really show people that I am one of the best cornerbacks.
This is your
in the
first
NFL.
year as a true
target.
number one targeted cornerback. And Casey Hayward, hey man, you better buckle your chin strap because if AJ Terrell starts the way he ended, they're gonna be coming after you, brother.
Yeah,
Our
you're gonna
safeties,
look like the lesser of two evils. Let me tell you that for sure.
We got our young safeties.
Yeah, and I just want to know what the defense is gonna look like. Are we gonna play as aggressive as they've said that they want to play? That's what I really want to know.
In the preseason, they did. So in the preseason, you saw a lot of 3 safety looks, a lot of 3 linebacker looks with somebody blitzing. There was always somebody blitzing. Dean P says that's what he wants to do. He's a blitzing quarterback. So when you have an AJ Terrell, when you bring in a Casey Hayward, when you have an Isaiah Oliver at nickel, you have a D Alford who came out from the CFL who led the team in interceptions during the preseason. You have fast, athletic linebackers. you're counting on them to be able to hold up in coverage for 3 seconds, and you should be able to get to the quarterback within 3 seconds if you're blitzing. Really.
Also, we need to keep an eye on Rashad Evans. You know, they brought him over from Tennessee. This is he's supposed to be the guy. We need to know, are you the guy, or do we need to find a guy in that spot?
What about Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay brought in Julio Jones. They lost AB. Chris Godwin comes back.
Tampa Bay should not even be. They should not even be in the conversation with the other 3 teams. To be completely honest, we don't even belong in this conversation. I apologize to their entire organization for having to put them in the same breath of air as everybody else. Everybody else is just here so they won't get fined. We know what it is. Now, when Touchdown Tom leaves, then we'll reassess the land at that point, and we'll make a decision who's 1, 2, 3, 4. But as long as that man is at the helm, nothing we can do except for hate and cry.
So let's look at the divisions. Let's do our seeding real quick. NFC South. Who do you have? I already know.
Bucks at 1.
But I said I already know you got the Bucks at 1.
I'm gonna be aggressive here. Falcons at 2. Saints at 3.
Ooh.
Panthers are the doormat.
Falcons at 2. Saints at 3.
Yeah. I feel like our team continuity is better.
It is.
Major questions about Michael Thomas. I don't know how confident people really believe in Jameis. I mean, what do you know that you have in Jameis at this point? Now they have the most room to prove me wrong, but they're gonna have to prove it. I feel like betting against Jameis is a fair bet. It's one of the more 50-50 bets that you have. Because he's a 50-50 quarterback.
He's a 50-50 quarterback.
Might throw
30
you a
30.
I was about to say, might throw you a touchdown, might throw you an interception. So,
he'll throw for 5,000 yards and lead the league. He'll lead the division in passing yards and completions and lead them in interceptions and turnovers too. So,
yep. I'm really betting on that. The Jameis is 50-50 and Dennis Allen is not Sean Payton. Those two things together give me. No, I can't do that. I looked at our schedule.
I looked at the Saints. I mean, they got a similar schedule. They got a similar
I think the
schedule.
Saints. I'm going to hate myself for doing this because.
Yep.
Let's go to the Falcons, man. I'm going to hate myself for doing that. That's a homer pick.
It is. It's 100%
What's yours,
a homer
though?
pick, and I understand it. So, let's get to my picks. So, I definitely have the Bucks winning and winning the division. I have the Falcons second. Yeah, we play all the same teams.
We in the same boat.
We play all the same teams. Well, I was checking to see who we play. We play all the same teams. So, yeah, I have the Falcons second, and then I have the Saints third, and the Panthers fourth. I just didn't want to influence you, but that's how I had it. So I have the same thing. I don't think that the Bucks can be touched. I think the Bucks will clinch by week 13 with like 4 or 5 games to go. Unless now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if injuries occur, then that's null and void. If Tom Brady gets hurt or walks away from the team for whatever, then of course. But I'm looking at their schedule. They play at the Cowboys, at the Saints, versus Green Bay, versus the Chiefs. That's a rough start for them. That's a rough first 4 games. They could literally be 1-3, 0-4, 2-2. But then they play the Falcons, Steelers, Panthers, Ravens, Rams, Seahawks. That's a tough schedule. The NFC South has a tough schedule. We're playing the AFC North, we're playing the NFC West, and we're playing the NFC West. And then you play your seeding in the other divisions.
Right.
Then they play the Rams, Seahawks, Browns, Saints, 49ers, Bengals, Cardinals, Panthers, Falcons. So I take that back. They definitely will not clinch early. This will be a dogfight of a division. The only thing is, not dogfight of the division. I mean dogfight of a schedule for everybody in the division. The only thing is the Bucks are comparable to everybody on their schedule. They can be seen as a favorite against everybody they play. The Falcons, Saints, and Carolina Panthers are not favored in the majority of people they play.
If any. I'm sure we are not ever the favorite.
And Kev, you
literally the least favorite.
And Kev, you're right. You are correct. There is a new coach in Tampa Bay, but that's Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles has already been a head coach. He has experience. There's really nothing.
And he's a part of that program last year. It's not like he came from somewhere else.
100%. So I definitely think it's going to be the same thing as well, man. So we definitely have the
And Kev, do you want to bet that it won't be this? Because I got the money for that. I'm willing to bet on touchdown Tom.
Yes, sir. So let's go to the NFC North. Bears, Packers, Lions, Vikings.
Mediocre.
But I say, this is interesting.
This is a mediocre conference, and I'm really not even sure that this is a mediocre conference. I think that all of these teams have major flaws. 3 of them gleaming.
So the Packers lost Devontae Adams. Their number one do everything wide receiver. They did have a strong draft. They drafted mostly defense, but did not bring in a first round wide receiver. In the preseason, all the receivers were dropping passes. All of them. The only thing is even though they're mediocre, I mean, you still have Aaron Rodgers. You still have a decent defense.
Who is he going to throw the ball to? Who's their number one?
Allen Lazard. Randall Cobb.
Where is Allen Lazard a number one at? Other than here. Maybe
where?
Chicago.
Here, you gave him more than I was gonna say.
No. When I'm talking about here, I'm talking about with the Green Bay Packers, not here as in the Atlanta Falcons. Hell, niggity, no. We will put Kyle Pitts at the 1, 2, and 3 wide receivers. Allen Lazard, you crazy as hell.
Yeah. The only thing with Green Bay is there's nobody to really challenge them. Nobody believes in Chicago. Chicago may lose their best player, Roquan Smith, if they don't get a new deal done. Justin Fields has
to be traded.
You said what?
He asked to be traded. So yeah, that's a problem.
Well, he also wants to get a new deal done. He said he wouldn't have asked to be traded if he got a deal done.
You don't think that he wants out of Chicago? Be real with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I would. If you're tired of losing.
So do you think he's not tired of losing?
I think he would. I mean, all athletes have that conundrum. Do you take the money or do you leave? Right? So if they give him the money that he asked, now the ball is in his court.
And this is a person who's a Georgia supporter. Do you think that the money will make him okay? And I'm asking because he was one of your guys.
What does that have to do with? Do I think the money will make? I mean, that was his alleged gripe, is that he wanted to get a deal done and stay in Chicago. That was he said on his statement. You know, that they have not. Now, if you think his statement was just full of shit, then no, the money won't keep him there. But if his statement was sincere, then the money will keep him there. But he wants to be paid like a top linebacker in the league. It's the Carmelo, do you go to Chicago conversation all over again.
I agree. But, I mean, yeah, you're going to have to pay him top linebacker money if you're going to keep him that place with nothing.
The thing is, I just don't know who they throw the ball to because they don't have David Montgomery. I mean, they have David Montgomery.
Jesus of Nazareth. They need to leave it in the hands of the Lord because that team is terrible.
And they just lost Khalil Mack. They need to figure out whether they're going to commit to full rebuild or not. And the thing is, because you drafted.
Rebuild with what?
Chicago will finish last. The thing is, Well, what I'm saying is sell off the rest of your assets, right? But the thing is, if you don't, there you go. My bad. If you don't, um, you've invested so much capital into Justin Fields. You invested so much. It's kind of like Kyler Murray. You invested so much capital in and Trey Lance. You invested so much capital into Justin Fields, and you've given him nothing to work with. Nothing. Tariq Cohen is out for the year. Unfortunately, tore his ACL, tore his Achilles. Like there is no hope for
But
this
Reggie,
team.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't even think people care
about this. I don't think people care about this whole division.
I don't. I honestly don't. Aaron Rodgers is the only part of this that I'm gonna tell you there are two reasons to care about this. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Jefferson. That is it and only it. There's nothing else to care about in the NFC North.
Now that brings me to the That brings me to the Lions and the Vikings. The Lions did make headway with Jared Goff with their head coach. They're hard knocks. DeAndre Swift. They have some weapons. Jameson Williams should be ready to go within a month of the season beginning, or a month after the season beginning. They have pieces. But when you start,
I'm interested.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, go. I acquiesce to you, my friend.
Oh, I was gonna say, but when you start an undrafted rookie, undersized linebacker, that tells me a lot about the rest of the linebackers on your team. No shade, but I mean it is what it is. You were picked. You were picked or weren't picked at that position for a reason. So if nobody else on your team can beat it out, that's tough. Go ahead.
We've already seen that the Bears have just taken everybody that nobody else wanted. That's how they got with Alex Leatherwood. The Raiders said they tried to trade to everybody else in the NFL. So the Bears are literally taking the leftovers of the leftovers. The Lions have nothing that is interesting, but they might have a good offensive line, surprisingly.
The Lions?
Yes.
Yeah.
The line has improved vastly. I think that will help them out. I think that helps them in not being the Bears, but they're still fighting it out for the absolute bottom. Then you have the Packers, which are a one-man band. And then you have Minnesota, who's we have a couple guys, but there's always a little bit of a problem. Kirk Cousins is mediocre. Dalvin Cook is historically always injured. And Justin Jefferson is good, but that's just not enough. You're still gonna lose enough games like that.
The funny thing is, I could see 3 teams winning this division just because it's so mediocre.
Wait. Okay, now I do have pretty good vision. I see 4 teams there. And you said 3 could win it.
3 have a chance to win the division.
I know that there's only 2 that have a chance to win it. So I want to know which one of these you think has a chance to win it.
The Lions may sneak up on some people. A lion may sneak up on somebody. No, the Detroit Lions ain't sneaking up on a soul. You crazy as hell. Okay. Yeah, it might be. So let's go with the division seeding.
Is that moonshine you drinking, Reggie?
Little bit. Where are we? NFC North?
Yes.
All right, NFC North. So who are you going with to win the division? Or you want to start? Let's start bottom down. Bottom up. Let's start bottom up.
Hey,
so obviously, I had to commit to it because as soon as I said it, I was like, damn.
In this string now. Bears. Bears last. Anemic offense. Defense wants to be somewhere else. Nothing really to write home about on this team. And anything that I think that was good is now an Atlanta Falcon now. Shout out to our GM.
The Atlanta Bears.
Yeah, Brian Pace picked over anything that was good left. He said, hey, come with us.
All right.
Next, Detroit Lions. The Detroit Football Lions. they're just not going to be good, even though that offensive line is going to be impressive. And this might be a chance where you look at drafting a quarterback here pretty soon, or hear me out on this. This might be a place for Baker Mayfield of the future.
I said that over the offseason. I thought you should go to Detroit, but they're committed to Jared Goff this year.
Yeah.
All right.
To Jared Goff. This is where it gets interesting. Minnesota too. Kirk Cousins. I gotta be honest with myself. I'm not going to trick myself off here. Who do we know is the middest of quarterbacks?
Kurt Kurt.
You know one thing for sure. He's gonna win as many as he loses. So there's no way that you can't put him above Aaron Rodgers. Now, how Aaron Rodgers does it, beyond me. And no, of course, I think that the Packers are number one. But if he gets them to number one with this
team,
this Tom Brady level wide receiver group, it will be beyond impressive. This may singularly be the greatest feat of his career, and he did win a Super Bowl. But if he can get this offense to looking like anything with these guys who none of us can name, then yes. Joe Rogan deserves at least a handshake on the football field, but please get your booster first.
So I agree again with this 75%. I'm going to change something up, though. I think the Vikings are the most complete team in this division. I think they have enough talent to hold serve. And I'm picking the Vikings to upset the Packers and win the division.
You're betting against the house.
I am.
What do they say?
It's a horrible bet.
What do they say?
Never bet against the house.
The house always wins.
Yes,
know
sir.
That.
But
know that now.
But
you're betting against a guy who you know is 500. I want you to just
betting for a guy, yeah.
In a safe space amongst friends, you're betting on a guy who you know is mediocre as mediocre can be, and you're gonna put him not in a mediocre place. You're gonna put him at the top.
Yep. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out.
Boy. And then think about it. You stepping out with Kirk Cousins. Step on back in. You better get on back in the house and do something else. That ain't it.
Yes, sir. But this is my picks, though. Norwood has Green Bay first over Minnesota. I have Minnesota winning this division, coming in first. And I'm going to stick to it. I immediately regret it, though.
Yeah. Not the first time you said that either.
I immediately. All right. So we did the NFC South, NFC North, NFC least.
Boy, and
shout out to the NFC East fans in here.
I don't know why I feel this way, but is football not good this year? Are all the teams not good?
It is very basketball-esque. Well, old super team basketball-esque, where there was only like 5 teams that were really in contention and everybody else was just there. It's kind of the same thing here.
Oh, out of the teams that we've talked about 3 different conferences so far?
Yes. 2. North, South.
3.
This is the
okay. Well, including this one.
Mm-hmm.
This would be 12 teams. How many of those 12 teams do you think have a fair and honest chance at a Super Bowl?
1.
Okay. Me and you, Paige, same one.
1. Let's talk about the NFC East, man. Now, this historically has been a difficult division to win back-to-back, to dominate. I think everybody but the Commandos have won this division in the last 10 years.
That's sad because none of these guys are good. You can't even dominate when there's nobody here who you can say is, you know what, this is a really good team. They put a good product on the field every year. Maybe the Cowboys?
I would say the Cowboys. The Cowboys. They put a decent team on the field. Dak has been, he's, a step stool ahead of Kirk Cousins. Like, he's been pretty good.
Ooh. Okay, so there are two things that I really want to do. Really, three things. I don't know if we can do them, but as I've talked through it, I definitely meant to go back and ask you to rank the. I wanted to rank the coaches and the quarterbacks for each one of these conferences. We don't have to do it right now,
We
but
could do that for Saturday Morning Live.
mm, we'll find somewhere to
Or
do
we
that
can do it
because
for the Around the League edition.
we got some questions. I got big questions, but yeah. So you're right. Cowboys are the most consistent, and they won how many playoff games in the last 25 years?
Is it one? That boy Kev said false. No, they didn't make it. No, they haven't won in a while. But so let's go team by team. New York Giants.
Go ahead. I hate this team.
Their secret weapon got hurt. Their secret weapon is
This is-
Tyrod Taylor.
This is one of my most hated teams in
Why?
the NFL because they're stupid. Give up on Danny Dimes like the rest of the world has. There's no reason for you to still believe in Danny Dimes. There was never really a reason for you to believe in him in the first place, other than the lies that was told to you. Now you at least could have had a chance to go get somebody like Jimmy G and just been like mediocre and might be able to win something. But you double down on the absolute one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. To me, is nonsensical. You don't care about your team, and if you don't care about your team, I'm not sure why we should.
I think Tyrod Taylor was supposed to be his replacement. I think they were going to give.
I'm tired of Tyrod getting that job.
I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm tired of it too, but that's the job he has. I think it's the direct opposite of the Falcons. I think the Falcons have their Tyrod Taylor starting and are bringing along Desmond Ridder. The Giants are trying to get rid of their young quarterback that is a bust, and they're going to bring on Marcus Mariota, a.k.a. Tyrod Taylor. So, but
And Tyrod,
I don't know if
think
he's
it's an
hurt.
upgrade.
But he is an upgrade over Danny Dimes right now. He's a better passer.
I don't think that they're armed. He is the reason that I know that Baker Mayfield's a starting quarterback in the NFL. As long as Danny Dimes has a starting job, Baker Mayfield deserves a starting job. Matter of fact, Danny Dimes is kind of the reason I believe that Marcus Mariota may be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'm not sure if I believe in Danny Dimes more than I believe in Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota might not have a cannon for an arm, but I feel like he does a better job.
I didn't know that was a question. I definitely don't believe in Danny Dimes over Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota is a placeholder. I think Danny Dimes is a negative. I think Danny Dimes makes that team's worse. He has a whole lot of turnovers. He does not complete passes.
You being here is making us worse. You need to go home.
Yeah,
career, do something different. This is not the place for you. This is not the profession. This is not the time for you. This is not the team for you. This is not the place in space for you. Go be somewhere else. But the Giants continue to pay them, and for that, I support it. You guys are like the Knicks. You just hate yourselves more than you hate anybody else. Congrats.
Yeah, I mean, they did draft Kayvon Thibodeau. Their defense is supposed to be better. Do they still got Jabril Peppers? No, I don't know.
No, it does not matter. How many points can they score with Danny Dimes in this offense?
And
Is Saquon going to play? What
Too
money
many
would you
question
bet
marks.
on Saquon? Nothing. I don't believe in this at all. Gas station sushi. Don't believe in it. Don't do it. Don't try. No. Bet against them 17 games. You'll probably make you some money.
So what about the Commandos? The Commandos got Carson Wentz. They re-signed both of their receivers. Chase Young is on the PUP again, out another 4 weeks. They still have that defensive line that is really good.
This is where you can be two things in one.
What?
Go ahead.
No, they did to what?
Oh, you can both be terrible and still not be the worst. Because you're still standing next to the Giants, who I think are just substantially worse. But do I believe in Carson Wentz? Absolutely not. Nobody believes in Carson Wentz. Not even the guy who's been his guy since day one, and Frank Reich, who's still with the Colts.
Frank Reich said Carson Wentz almost got me fired.
Exactly. I'll take Matt Ryan. Let me tell you, guys, there's not many people really interested in taking. As the only person a member of the Matt Ryan fan club, I can double down on this. Yeah. If you got Carson Wentz, you got nothing. Terry McLaurin, congratulations on getting paid. I don't think that you're a top 10 wide receiver. I don't, maybe 10 to 15, maybe. I'd have to really, really write
He's
them all
probably in the 10 to
down.
15 range. He's in the 10 to 15 range.
Maybe. But for sure, not a top 10 guy.
Not with Carson.
Chase
I mean,
Young.
with Carson Wentz. I mean, he's probably in the 15 to 20 range.
And yeah. Bad to worse. Carson Wentz, no thank you. Chase Young, no thank you. Overall, this is a no-go for me. The only thing that gives them any saving grace is you play with the Giants. Carson Wentz, you're back up for the rest of your career after this. Congrats.
The Cowboys have a new offensive line. Well, no, they have their offensive line is horrible.
Not horrible, but
Russ is calling.
It's not what it used to be.
Russ is calling Splash Cast versus the World.
That must be a mistake, I would assume.
But anyway, the Cowboys, so their offensive line took another hit. Smith is out for the foreseeable future, tore his hamstring. Yep. They did get Gallup. They do have Gallup. They did get they still have CeeDee Lamb, who they hope to take a step forward. Zeke, they really didn't do much addition.
You lost Amari Cooper. And what is this team now? Is this a young team trending upward, or is this a team that has hit its peak and maybe trending downward? I'm not sure how much better. I don't know how much better that can be. Everybody knows that Zeke is already on his downturn, and at this point, his contract is egregious.
What is it?
And
go ahead.
And you got to look at CeeDee Lamb. Is he closer to AB or is he closer to Juju Smith-Schuster? He's the wide receiver one. There's no more Amari Cooper. He's the guy who's going to get the best coverage. And I ask you, do you think he's closer to AB or do you think he's closer to Juju Smith-Schuster? I think I know your answer.
I don't know. We're about to find out.
You got to pick, or you can't pick right in the middle.
I don't know, because his numbers weren't impressive against the number 2 cornerback. So him going against the number 1 cornerback. Now he will have Gallup back, so he'll have more single coverage.
They had the tight end last year.
I mean, you'll have him. I mean, you still have double coverage, even if you have tight end last year. And he's not guaranteed to come back. He wants a new contract, too.
Yes. For me, I don't trust him. There's no reason to believe that he's anywhere near wide receiver one capability. I've never seen him do it. He wasn't even really a dominant wide receiver number 2. So for me, I'm out on this team. But I do feel like the rest of this conference is inept. So I think that they'll just, I think they'll get there, but in and out real quick. I don't like any of these teams.
Well, I like the Eagles. I like the Eagles a lot. They fortified their defense with Nakobe Dean and just Jordan Davis, playing him alongside Fletcher Cox. Even though Fletcher Cox is a little older,
that's the reason.
you will have no. I have more. I think they shored up their defense. They added AJ Brown to go with Devontae Smith to give Jalen another weapon. Isn't it? Who's their tight end? Is it Dallas Goedert, or is that the Cowboys? Anyway,
Ertz went to the Cards. I think it is Goddard. I think you're right.
They have weapons for Jalen Hurts, along with Miles Sanders, and being able to have a run game, and they have stopping defensive line. Now, the Eagles secondary, I think, don't they have Darius Slay? Yep.
Yes, but are you not concerned at all about the quarterback play?
Yes. I'm 100% concerned about the quarterback play. Did my computer freeze? Are you frozen?
Yes, it did. Yes.
Hopefully it'll unfreeze. It just moved. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me I think
But I don't.
there it is. There it is. There it is. All
Yeah,
right.
I don't think that he.
Bitch will not
Yeah,
go.
I think that
Okay.
they're betting against him being their quarterback next year. I think they're putting everything in order to go after a quarterback next year. I don't know what's going to be available, but I feel like they're like, we're going to give you this chance. We don't believe that it's going to work out, but we have to because you earned this job, which he has, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know, bro. The Eagles have built an impressive stash of younger players to replace their older veterans. The only thing
I
that
agree.
I do think that is a problem for the Eagles is I don't know anything about their linebackers. I have heard nothing about their linebackers other than the Kobe Dean, who fell all the way to the fourth round because of his injuries. Um, I don't know. I don't know how that works. So, but to me,
Is he going to
they're
start?
the who he. I
He,
mean, who he started in preseason. He played a lot with the first in preseason, but because the rest of the division is so bad, 2 out of the 3 teams left are so bad, and the Cowboys are such a wishy-washy team. I'm picking the Eagles. So let's get right to our division seating for this team. Who you got?
the bottom. Giants. Easy. Then after the Giants, not the Eagles, not the Cowboys. Who am I miss? I just
The
went blank.
Commandos.
Oh yeah, the Commanders. I'm literally trying to forget that this team exists. Then the Eagles, then the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys. They
Wow.
have.
You had the Eagles. You had the Eagles at second.
Yep. I think they have the most continuity. Um, Surprisingly, I think they probably have the best run organization, which is tough.
The Cowboys?
I I mean, it's out of the Cowboys and the Eagles, the Giants,
Oh, my bad, guys.
Commanders.
Supposed to change
Yeah.
that. That's the old one. I'll change that when I edit this.
Yeah, just don't even show that.
That is not perpetuated.
Well,
I
yeah,
downloaded a pack.
yeah, I
and
just
that
feel
was
like
in the pack.
Dak is good enough that he'll just get them home, and
Mhm.
I feel like Jalen Hurts, man. I like the kid, but I think he's going to stunt the offense's growth. I think that trying to get
Really?
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith the ball, I think it's going to be difficult for him to do on a regular basis. Yeah.
So
I think Dak's ability to just be able to hit, mediocre, dink and Dak throws. I think he's just going to be better at that than Jalen. He'll be able to complete more passes, so you be able to you keep the defense a little bit more honest.
well, we definitely disagree on this too. So I have mine like this. I have the Cowboys in fourth place. I mean, in second place. Fourth place was
I was about to
Cowboys.
say, yeah, dog, boy.
I have the
Jared is my boy. If the Cowboys end up in fourth,
I think the Cowboys end up in second. I think the Eagles win the division. I think the Giants are last, and I think the Commandos are exactly what we have here. They are irrelevant. So I think the Eagles beat the Cowboys. I don't know what they're gonna do with Nelson Aguilar. Come on, Rod. I mean, they got to get rid of him. He's not good. Come on, Rod. You know that the Giants aren't that good. That's not
Tell your
disrespect.
team to respect themselves. What to get? And we ain't got Jason Garrett. Anytime your answer is I'm going to go get Jason Garrett, you've already failed yourself.
You've lost. You talked so bad about Jason Garrett before.
Yeah. No, we'll continue to. Yeah, I just don't think that the Giants, I don't think that the Eagles, the offense don't have enough for me. I don't think that they're going to be able to score more than 17 points on average.
I think even adding A.J. Brown. So you think A.J. Brown is just inconsequential?
No, I think Jalen, I don't trust Jalen Hurts to get me home passing. I don't. Sorry.
Even adding A.J. Brown.
No, I don't.
So then he's inconsequential.
As much as
no matter what you do, if Jalen Hurts, you can add as many receivers as you want. Jalen Hurts won't get you the ball. Is that right? Isn't that what you're saying?
Yes, but yes, that is what I agree with. But when you say inconsequential, I don't want people to believe that I don't think that he's a good football player. I do think that he's a good football player. I just think that Jalen Hurts' passing ability doesn't get you close enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like A.J. Brown. I did say that Kyle Pitts is better than Devontae Smith in college, and I think that he has always been better than Devontae Smith, and I'll leave it there. I'm not smoking dope.
I mean, productivity.
Being honest with you.
So then, of course, the last in the division, the NFC West, the real fight. I believe this is probably the best division in the NFC, right? You got the Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, and 49ers. Super Bowl champ. Been to the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years. Who's better?
Oh, no. You talking about in the NFC or in football?
In the NFC. I said it, NFC.
Oh, in the NFC, sure. But I mean, I still think this is. I thought you said the NFL. I thought you said it's the best conference in the NFL. I was like,
no, it's the AFC West. We know that.
Yeah. But I feel like this is one good team, one bad team.
Who's the good team?
I see an A, a B, a C, and an F. That's what I see.
Wait, so B isn't good?
Good enough.
So that's the 49ers, I'm assuming. Then you have the Rams.
Let's start with the Seahawks. The F. Like what the F is going on?
Geno
Who the F is your
Smith
quarterback?
Or Drew
What the F
Lock.
is the game plan now that you've lost the Legion of Doom? You lost Bobby Wagner. You lost Russell Wilson. You lost Marshawn Lynch. You've lost everything.
You lost, even recently, you've lost Chris Carson, who was your starting running back.
You lost hope. You lost everything. There's nothing left. The cupboard is bare. It is Drew Lock and DK Metcalf. That is squalor.
You have Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett is one of those guys that
who's gonna throw him the ball, Reggie?
I just wish he would go somewhere else. Like he would be so good just anywhere else.
Going to hell.
No. But he
you don't
definitely
think where he is right now is hell.
Like, could you imagine Tyler Lockett as the Falcons slot receiver?
Wait. Could you imagine having Russell Wilson as your quarterback and then one day waking up and having Drew Lock as your quarterback?
If I were doing what they're doing. See, that's the thing I don't understand about these teams. Yeah, that too. That's the thing I don't understand about these teams. You either got to commit to rebuild or not. Like, you can't be playing in the middle. Like, go ahead.
Hold on. Why do you think the Seahawks are playing in the middle? They've literally gotten rid of everybody.
Why are you keeping
not a soul left?
Your assets, right? Your assets right now are Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. I don't think DK Metcalf is a receiver that you build a team around. I think
that's the reason this contract is set up the way that it is. It's a 2-year contract. They know that he's the only thing. He's the only reason to come watch him play football right now. That's the reason.
Ironically, and Tyler Lockett is the better receiver. And Tyler Lockett, who should go somewhere else, that's really all you got. I don't know. They have Kenneth Walker III from Michigan State as their running back. That's about it. I don't believe in either one of the quarterbacks. I don't believe in the defense. I don't know about their defensive line.
So we both believe that this is an F.
F.
Or failing.
So what about the Cardinals?
The Cardinals are a different situation. They are in a unique situation where the pressure is up, but the math is down. The reason I say that is Kyler's been paid. You have a bunch of these names still around. AJ Green, what's his name? Larry Fitzgerald. You'll get DeAndre Hopkins back. You know, J.J. Watt is still out there, I guess. They got players though. They got Zach Ertz still too.
Zach Ertz. They got a lot of old people.
Yeah, but you have just enough names to get you in trouble. Oh, Cliff Kingsbury, throw him out there too. That's a big name. So
big name.
You've already. He's a name that people talk about. He gets the people. You know his name, and you don't know Dennis Allen's name, or you don't know who's coaching the Jaguars right now.
Yeah, I don't know Cliff Kingsbury because he's a coach. Because of coaching.
Okay. No, but he's a. Big
I understand
name.
what you're saying, but man, I don't like him. So whatever. Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, this team has enough names to get you in trouble. This is exactly what I think, actually. Where you spent the money, you have the names,
they did get Hollywood Brown.
The expectation. Too. Yep, and you have Hollywood Brown. But I don't think that this team comes together and plays any better than it does. And this team has a historical precedence of always falling apart as the season progresses, which is not really something good for your leadership or your coaching.
They got Marcus
and those are
Golden,
two things that should be very important.
They did draft Myjai Sanders from Cincinnati, one of the 9 players drafted. They still have Budda Baker.
He's good. I do like him.
But I mean,
their
cornerbacks.
This team,
boo-boo.
This team is a problem to me. I would not, and I don't want to deal with temperamental Kyler. None of this. Trey Young with no production.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't believe in the Cardinals as well. I don't know if they can stay healthy. But I mean, if they do have weapons to make a run at the end of the season, and then you have
I got a question for you. Because we believe that the Seahawks are 4, I would assume that you believe that the Cardinals are 3.
Well, let's go ahead.
If they finish 3rd, do you run this back again?
You just paid Kyler. Gotta run him back. You just paid Kyler. You just traded for Hollywood Brown. You gotta run it back. You probably get rid of the old people, but I mean, your core is here, except for running back. They don't have a running back that I know of.
David Conner.
Yeah. You talking about James Conner? Yeah, James Conner.
David Conner.
James Conner. I don't like James Conner because he messed up the list. He messed up my point when I was going over the list and how Cooper Kupp was number 4 and all this other stuff, and then they ranked him like 10. I was like, oh my god. There goes my argument. So that pissed me off. So I don't believe in them at all. I don't believe in the run game. They got Will Hernandez from the Giants. He's a failed guard. We know as the Falcons fans, we know that when you try to take a mediocre guard or mediocre offensive lineman from somewhere else and say, oh, well, he'll do okay here. He just needs to change the scenery. He always sucks. Trust me, we know. Every time. The only person that wasn't terrible is somebody that we went and got after an all-pro season, Andy Levitre. That was the only one. Everybody else that we brought in at the end of their career was terrible. So, no, I don't believe in the Cardinals.
Well, we specialize in doing too.
So then you bring that brings you to California. That brings you to Northern and Southern California. You have the 49ers and the Rams. Now, remember, the 49ers beat the Rams at the end of the year last year to make it to the playoffs, where then they upset Dallas to make it back to play the Rams, who then had a nail-biter of a game. Where the Rams won and then eventually went on to win the Super Bowl. These two teams have been each other's biggest rivalry over the last 3 years in the division. Debo Samuel requested a trade, and they went back. He and Kevin Durant, must be best buds. And then they made a trade. They made a non-trade with Jimmy Garoppolo, who is now the backup. And they went ahead and started Trey Lance, who has not really played meaningful football in 3 years. Did they really add any receivers? I don't think they added any receivers to this team. I don't think they really did anything. Now, they do start the season out against the Bears, so they'll be able to run this like a scrimmage and do whatever they want to do. But the defense is still the defense. I mean, you have one of the Bosa brothers. You have Eric Armstead. You have all of these players. Javon Kinlaw, who is making waves, actually, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. You have the highest paid linebacker in the league in Fred Warner. You have
Warner.
Yes, sir. Then you have your DBs who actually are playing pretty well. You got Jimmy Ward, Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, Demondor Lenore, one of their draft picks out of Oregon. So they actually have a decent. They're always going to, for the last couple of years, they've had a good defense. And they're going to have a good defense. It's the offense. And the biggest unknown for them, the reason that I just can't pick them right now, is Trey Lance. He hasn't played in 3 years.
Okay. So, why have y'all been hiding Trey Lance? Hidden. You can't find him. You can't really see a whole lot of him playing football. There's nothing that has come out and said we believe in Trey Lance. Nothing. And that either means one of two things to me. Either he is world-changing and life-altering, or you have no faith in him.
It's some shit about to go down, boy.
And the fact that Jimmy G is still around and Lance has already made it very clear
that was annoying. Wasn't thrilled about it at all.
Lets me know that there's a fly in the milk. There's a problem in Frisco. Now, one thing that I will say is that Frisco is the one place where you don't have to really be that good of a quarterback to get the job done.
I was about to say, so I believe Kyle Shanahan will get them to be second place in that division just because of him.
Yep, I think that Shanahan can coach around a player not being that good because I continue to watch him do it every year with Jimmy G. I think that I am concerned that he is worse than Jimmy G, which is kind of surprising. But I guess he doesn't have to be worse than Jimmy G. Even if he was worse than Jimmy G, he could be just as good as Jimmy G. And you still win, I guess, the same amount of games. And it would take longer to figure out that you've been trick bagged. But if he's only as good as Jimmy G and you spent that draft capital for him, boy, you are in a fail clutch.
I don't know whose fault this is. I mean, I know whose fault this is, but I don't know who gets fired, because I don't think Trey Lance is the guy for them. I don't think Trey Lance is going to be worth whatever draft capital that they spent. 4 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, a couple players, whatever they did. I know that he's a mobile quarterback, but Jimmy G wasn't just a sitting duck back there. Jimmy G just threw the ball with his eyes closed. Like, I don't think Trey. Huh?
There may be bail here that Shanahan is top tier, and I think that John Lynch is top tier when it really comes to picking talent. I think they might have just missed on one. But I don't think that there's necessarily a position where you can't get better at head coach. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Nah, it's needle in a haystack type thing. But as I was saying, let me finish what I was saying. I don't think. Well, I forgot what I was saying now.
You were saying that I don't know who gets fired first.
Oh, I was saying I don't know who gets fired first here, just because you invested so much draft capital in Trey Lance, right? You invested so much draft capital in Trey Lance, and he hasn't really done anything. And if he doesn't turn out to be, to me, when you invest that much capital in somebody, they should outright win the job. Like they are hands and feet better than the person that you have. To me, right? Like there's no way that, like, if we drafted Desmond Ridder in the first round and moved up 5 spots to get him and gave up 3 picks, there's no way that he would be in a quarterback controversy with Marcus Mariota. There's no way, no matter what Mariota does, right?
I agree.
So I don't know if he's that guy, and that's why I said if he's not that guy and he's not a real pick, like, it's tight. Like, somebody got to go.
The hierarchy would be easy. You would.
Well, you're not getting rid of
Lance is the first. Lance is the first guy out. First, he's last guy in, first guy out. Lynch, I think that the rest of his picks and the way that he structured this team has been good enough, and he's worked with what Kyle Shanahan has kind of asked for. That even if he doesn't hit, I don't think that it's just knee jerk get rid of him, because there are going to be other teams that are like, oh, I'll take this guy. Giants, I'll take this guy. Lions, I'll take this guy. Bears, I'll take this guy. There are so many teams that would love to have a general manager who've done this well. Now, we don't know how, but he's done this well with his picks. Hell, Terry Fontenot or John Lynch. John Lynch.
Although I will say, I think Terry Fontenot did Terry Fontenot draft Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts in his 3rd year. Fontenot came and hired Arthur Smith. No, Kyle Pitts was the last draft pick. Then never mind. My point was going to say, I think the Falcons forced them to trade up because they knew we were going to take that. We were going to take either Trey Lance or Justin Fields if they were. Trey Lance if he was there. Yeah. So
which once again we missed on 2 guys, Trey Lance and Justin Fields, and I think that so far so.
Yeah, but it also talks about what situation you fall into. All right, man. Let's get to picking these teams.
You think that the situation is going to make that better?
It could. All right, so we are doing what, the NFC East West, right? NFC West. Correct. Who you got? 4th. Well, 4th.
Very bottom Seahawks. They hate themselves. We hate them as much as they do.
Yeah, they come to Atlanta all the time talking trash.
Arizona. I don't think that Kyler grows up. I think the team just gets older.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan, until proven otherwise, is going to do. He's their best player. Shout out to Debo and all that. Shanahan is what makes this thing go. 49ers at 2.
So I agree, Sneaky. You can see on the side. Sneaky said that I think the Falcons would have been okay with Fields. I think we would have been all right with Justin Fields. I think but then at that point you gotta give up Kyle Pitts, which I don't know if I'm willing to do that. Now I think
Kyle Pitts has the ability to be very good, Ring of Honor good, possibly Hall of Fame skill set. Justin Fields, I don't even think he may not be a Ring of Honor guy.
No. So
if you don't think he's Ring of Honor and you think the other guy is maybe Hall of Fame, definitely Ring of Honor level guy, then yeah, this ain't close.
Well, I think they thought he was Ring of Honor guy. Right now, he's not. But I think they thought he was when they drafted him. But I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on here. This is exactly how I had my division. I still think the Rams with Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, Woods coming back. They still have a strong defense. Didn't they add Bobby Wagner? So, or did he go to the Chiefs? He went to the Chiefs. No, he went to the Rams.
Yeah, I think he's at the Rams. I don't think I would have known if he went to the Chiefs.
How would you have known?
He's a Ram.
Yeah. So they added Bobby Wagner. One of the places that they had to shore up was linebacker. They still have the beast from Pittsburgh in Aaron Donald. Now they do have to replace Von Miller, and looks like they may have to replace OBJ, which is a big deal. But I mean, Sean McVay can do it depending on who they bring in. I think this will be a closer race than you think, though. I think the 49ers will give the Rams another run for their money.
Oh, yeah, because the Bosa brothers going to do his job, too.
But the Rams, they're just too strong defensively. They have a lockdown corner, and none of these other teams do. Really.
That, too.
They have a lockdown corner and pretty good safeties.
This is an easy one for me.
Yes, sir.
Let's get us some water and then come back and run this AFC.
All right, guys, we're going to take a 2-minute break. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Going to get some water, and then we're going to run this AFC back, and then we'll pick Super Bowl. We'll pick Super Bowl. Who will win the playoffs. Y'all stay tuned. There we go. That motherfucker blacker than some foes. You rollin' with a real. When the bitches really love me out here like they love Soldier Slim and I know you. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, your boy a little bipolar. Half general, half soldier. Yeah, got a handful of hair while I hit it from the back while a real nigga blowing on some doja. Yeah, I'm gon' fold her. When I get done, I'm a motor. Same time, keeping my composure. If you keep making them faces, keep talking to me right in the morning, I'ma roll her back over. Playtime's over. Came to give you motherfuckers closure. Real niggas only know posers. If you really got it out the mud like the rollie on your wrist, knock the motherfucking dirt up off your shoulders. I ain't gon' hold you. Nigga really got it with the soda. Really hit them Ninas in the motor. Yeah, nigga really made them deals on the first and the third. Cause a nigga really try to hit his quota. What you know about that odor? Yeah, nigga came from the coast. Now I'm legal like Tony Matola. Yeah, I really came through the hood in that all white lamb. And the first one to do it like Soldier. I ain't gon' hold you. Nigga came through and all black motherfuckers thought I played for the Raiders. Talking to a street nigga, yeah, turn real estate mogul. Ain't no telling what I paid for the makers. All about that paper. Never been no hating in my nature. Don't make me Louis V. suitcase. Make a nigga cry. Got so much money in the safe. You gon' think a motherfucker when it makes you. Can't let him break you. No, you can't let him break you. Now you can't let these motherfuckers snake you. Nigga, when this rap shit done, get that Magic Johnson money like that nigga when he done with the Lakers. I ain't gon' hold you. Everything I did, I done told you. Everything I said, I done showed you. Did this one for my day one. Nigga say what you say, can't say a nigga ain't growed you. Name a nigga code. Matter of fact, name a nigga bold. Matter of fact, let me name a nigga for you. Talking about the B-I-G to the S-N-O, but you already know I done told you. I ain't gon' hold you. I ain't gon' hold y'all. We the greatest to ever do it. Big Snow. DJ Drama. And like that, we gone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after our 2-minute break. Appreciate y'all for sticking with us. We are now going to jump right into the AFC. You are listening to the smooth sounds of the Splash Cast. What is this? 36-pack? 24-pack. That comes out
24 pack.
24 that comes out tomorrow.
Smooth groove.
The smooth sounds. But yeah, now we're going to get right into AFC. We're going to kind of get through this so that we can pick. We're not going to go and pick our superlatives. What we're going to do is we're going to pick division winners, and then we're going to go through our playoff bracket, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's go ahead and start with AFC North. Who you got? Let's start with, this is an interesting division. This has also been called the strongest division in the league. The AFC is stacked. Start with Lamar. The Ravens are in a precarious position.
That's kind of the reason I think that I think that we started with the NFC, and I was like, man, maybe football's bad. No, the NFC is bad. That's where it is. In this case, though, let's talk about the team that I like the least.
Well,
that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. What are you? I hate it. Number one, starting with Mitchell Trubisky is basically saying that I'm going to throw away the beginning of the season. which I think is not.
They
It's a
have.
very safe way of playing. You're playing it safe so that you can give Kenny Pickett time to get acclimated. You're doing that, you're throwing away the beginning of the season, and I don't think that this is the time to throw away games. Uh, I think that you should just start Kenny Pickett. You picked him, see what you can get out of him. And if y'all, if you don't have it, you guys just don't have it. You come back next year. But starting with Mitchell Trubisky is just going to allow you to lose some games to start the game. I mean, start the season with, and if you're going to lose, might as well lose with the guy you picked.
So here's the thing about the Steelers. The quarterback position. They have a third of a good quarterback in each string. They have a mobile person, it's Mitchell Trubisky. They have somebody that knows the offense and is pretty accurate with Mason Rudolph, but he doesn't have the best decision making.
What?
Hold on, and then they have Kenny Pickett. Well, the depth chart said Kenny Pickett was third, so that's why I went down the depth chart. Kenny Pickett, who is the young guy who's really accurate but doesn't know the offense. That's three guys that, if you put them together, would be a really good quarterback. But since they're not together, it's the same discussion or argument that you have. When do you throw in the rookie quarterback? Because Mitchell Trubisky is nothing but a placeholder here. He's not the future. He's not there to take over the job and be the next great QE. No, he's there as a placeholder. So you have to build whoever's going to be the quarterback. You have to build around them. Now they do have a really good, or what seems to be a really good receiving core. Chase Claypool, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, to say the least, along with their tight end. Now you just got to get him the ball. But George Pickens looks like a beast. Chase Claypool, we said he's a good number 2. Well, now he's number 2, which is another point that proves that this dude was drafted in the second round and came and took your job immediately. Then they have, I don't know who their running back is, matter of fact. They have Najee Harris at running back. So their offense is actually pretty loaded. The defense, the secondary is
even more of a reason not to be playing Mitchell Trubisky, if you ask me.
Yeah, I guess that would be the ideal situation to put in a rookie, especially when you're starting
weapons
a rookie
around him.
with weapons around them. Their defense: T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward. Their defense is good. I feel like they could be better, but that secondary is their weak point, which is opposite of what we normally see from the Steelers. Secondary, the back seven, really. The front four are their strength. The back seven is the question mark, especially at linebacker. Devin Bush is really, really undersized when he came out of Michigan. But I think the Steelers could make some noise. I trust Mike Tomlin to not have a losing record. I don't trust him to win the division, though. But this is strong. If you don't have a losing record, it's going to be this year, though. Because you got to play
if you expect him not to have a losing record,
yeah,
what you expect everybody else to do?
Yeah, that's why I said if it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to be this year because you are stuck. Because that takes us to the next team.
Like your name is Chuck.
The next team, and if you want to go in order of how they finished last year, the next team is the Ravens, isn't it? Or is it we'll go Ravens. The Ravens are in an interesting situation because Lamar Jackson is going to be paid. He is going to break the bank. And he knows he's going to break the bank. But he lost his favorite, I don't want to say his favorite wide receiver because the favorite wide receiver is his tight end. But he lost Hollywood Brown. And now they do have Rashard Bateman, who is getting healthy. But I don't know if the Ravens have enough. They do get their running backs back. No.
I don't understand what to do with Lamar Jackson. But you're gonna have to pay him. But due to the style,
he was a Super Bowl. Go ahead.
Number one, they just said Chase Young re-aggravates ACL.
What does that mean? What does re-aggravate mean?
Not good.
Breaking news here on the Splashcast. Breaking news here on the Splashcast. I mean, about to say, what does that mean, though?
That means that don't expect. That's Atlanta Hawks training talk. Don't expect him to be available in 4 weeks. Is what that means.
Oh, and they just signed Kenyon Drake, who but to add to Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. Why did they do that? Oh, and J.K. Dobbins. So that means they don't think J.K. Dobbins is fully healthy yet. So they have a running back by committee for real.
And no wide receiver. And that's my thing is the way that this team is set up. It's going to be almost impossible to get a good wide receiver one to come here and one to come here because he's just not going to get enough touches unless you're going to find a guy with the peace and demeanor of Larry Fitzgerald. Majority of these guys might throw me the damn ball, and it's just not going to happen here.
Well, they have Benjamin Victor out of Ohio State, and Ohio State has been putting out wide receivers the last decade. So they did draft him 6'4", 225. Rashad Bateman, they got out of Minnesota. They still have a speed guy in Devin Duvernay, but he's more of a one-trick pony. He has to run straight to be effective.
Yep.
And then you have Demarcus Robinson out of Florida, who they signed from the Chiefs. So, I mean, they've added some depth. They just don't have an ideal number one wide receiver, to me.
But I don't think that they absolutely have to. I think this is just a running team. But you're gonna have to. That's a tougher way to go. The Tennessee Titans can tell you, it's gonna be tougher trying to run all the time.
And they've had bad luck with the injury bug. So yeah, you're right.
And is that takes more of a pounding on everybody. It's harder on the offensive linemen. It's harder on the running backs. I mean, even as a quarterback, it's gonna be everything. You're gonna hit more like that. I don't know exactly what their game plan is, and I do think that before Burrow showed up, it wasn't that big of a deal. But him with the ability to control the offense and the pace and not risk himself getting injured or just the team in general, I think the Burrow is a big issue for the Ravens. And my biggest fear, and I think that I'm just sure that it's going to happen, is Kyle Hamilton being a Hall of Famer one day. I just have that in the back of my mind that we didn't pick him. He was a guy who I really wanted, and him going to the Ravens, that always ends up being a guy who, oh man, he just fell into our lap, and he's the best defensive player in the world ever.
Here you go. Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to be an interesting team. I think they could finish, the highest that they can finish is win the division. The lowest that they can finish is 4. Like, they have a moving.
4?
Yeah, they could finish 4th. The Steelers could give them a problem. This is a strong division. But it'll be interesting to say the least. And then you have the 2 Ohio teams. Cleveland, no Deshaun Watson for 11 weeks. So essentially, no Deshaun Watson. Jacoby Brissett will be the starting quarterback. They have Amari Cooper at wide receiver. They lost Jarvis Landry, of course. They still have the running backs. They still have both the running backs. They have their defense that is killer. They still have David Njoku on tight end.
Out. Don't forget that your boy.
So, I mean, unless if you're just talking about it'd be a big deal if you didn't have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is such a beast that he can carry the thing.
It's a big deal to me is because you have so much other stuff going on with this team. You still have the Deshaun Watson fiasco floating around outside. You're going to have Jacoby Brissett, who we believe is a good backup, but we don't believe that he's 11 games Jacoby Brissett. You got a running back who wants out. You have another running back who's, for all intents and purposes, is the man. And it's just a lot of noise with this team.
They don't have really any receivers.
And Amari Cooper and David Njoku.
He's a tight end. But who else?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Jakeem Grant, Mike Harley, Anthony Schwartz, Isaiah Weston, Michael Woods.
Oh, they got one of them dudes who's real fast, who I forgot his name.
Anthony Schwartz from Auburn.
Yes. But this is another team that's going to run the ball a lot. This is the Nick Chubb, especially with no Watson. This is Chubb versus the world. But I think that they're probably the third best team in this conference. That's where my estimation
And then, of course, you have the defending division champs, the defending AFC champion. 1 second away. If you would have just had one more second to throw the ball, it would be Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
You have the Bengals.
No. Come on, man. Like, and I like Jacoby Brissett, but he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Baker Mayfield is definitely a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. So then you're talking about the Bengals, who fortified their offensive line.
Surely did.
They brought in Lyle Collins. They have Jonah Williams. Go ahead.
They got Mixon. They got T. Higgins.
They brought in Alex Kappa, who is a big deal. Then you have all the skill positions that you could need. T. Higgins, Mixon, Travion Williams, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. They have Samaje Perine as their third back. They have a lot of speed.
And a year of wisdom and experience.
I actually might say they may run away with this division this year.
I'm not going to say – I don't think they'll run away from it. Run away from them because this is a high rivalry conference.
Mm-hmm.
So even though, I think that Cincinnati is substantially better than the rest of the teams, when it comes down to game time, I think that these teams will play up because the rivalry is so deep. That Ravens versus Browns is going to be a dogfight. The Browns versus Bengals is probably going to be a dogfight, at least in the beginning. I just feel like everybody's going to go out and do their absolute best to play tough as long as they can. I don't know how long the skill set will hang around.
All right, so rank them. Who you got? Fourth.
Fourth. I have the Steelers at 4. I like, they do have pieces around them, but the quarterback play is going to be by far the worst. Then I have the Browns at 3. I think that the noise is too loud for them. I don't believe that they ever get on one accord because they have so many different moving pieces.
Wow, you said the Browns at 3? Well,
Browns at 3. Yeah. I think that you have the Ravens at 2. I think that they just play within themselves and they're healthier. They're not better than the Bengals, but they'll be able to get the job done. And then Bengals numero uno, they went ahead and knew what their issue was, and they said, we're going to fix this offensive line and protect Joe B.
Yeah, they do need to re-sign their safety, though. Because he is definitely what do you call a walk-in, a hold-in, come to practice, but he wants to get paid. So this is your 4: Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers. So with this this division, outside of the number 1, I think the Bengals are far and away the best team in this division. I think it gets muddled a little bit here. If Deshaun Watson was here, I think it would be between the Bengals and the Browns. But Deshaun Watson being out for 11 games is a big deal.
Handcuffed. Absolutely.
So, and in all honesty, in full transparency, I want chaos. I want Lamar Jackson to win the Super Bowl and be the MVP and be the offensive player of the year so that the Ravens will have to pay him $500 billion. That's why I want, but I don't think that they're better than the Bengals. He would have to have
that sounds like hate.
He would have to have an MVP year. It's not hate towards the Ravens. Nah, but you had to pay him. It's not hate. It's more of support of Lamar. Y'all trying to talk about Lamar like he's not a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. His offensive.
No. It doesn't matter if he's good or not now. The results are there. That's the part that people miss out on. Dak broke his leg and still got paid. And if you think Dak got paid, what you think they finna do with Lamar?
Yeah. But the thing is, as I said before, the Ravens can finish second or they can finish fourth.
No
I
way.
think
I'll take the fourth bet.
I'm not betting that. But who bets on who's gonna finish fourth? I think you could probably swap the Ravens and the Browns But I'm gonna take the Ravens at 2. I'm gonna take the Browns at 3 and the Steelers at 4. I'm not gonna change it. I think this is pretty much the way that it goes, based on all the information that we know now. We know that Deshaun Watson isn't there. We know that Lamar has a lot of unproven receivers. We know that the Steelers are rebuilding, and we know that the Bengals are the Bengals. They got better after going to the Super Bowl.
I actually think that the Bengals are one by themselves. I do agree with your interchangeability between the Ravens and the Browns. I actually think like you said, the Browns are better with Deshaun, but with a bridge quarterback, I think that they'll have the third best quarterback play, but not enough to be better than Lamar and his squad, especially since Lamar and his team know exactly what they want to do.
Exactly. Where are we now? We are with the
South, West, or East AFC. Oh, no, that's not it. That's the AFC.
South. Another interesting division.
Is it? Not. I think
it's really a 2-team race. I tried to make it.
I hate this.
Tried to sauce it up. I tried to sauce it up for y'all, and it didn't work.
Sure didn't. You'd be better off with Sauce Gardner.
So you got the AFC South. You have the Colts, who are were the number one defense, number one rushing attack with Carson Wentz, and we saw how that went. They didn't even make the playoffs. Then you have the Titans, the Texans, and the Jaguars. To me, this is a group or a division that only the division winner makes the playoffs. I don't think anybody else makes the playoffs. I think the Jaguars are irrelevant. I think the Texans are building.
How good do you think Urban Meyer will have them?
Well, I mean, it depends on what type of cable package he has, and if he has a walkie-talkie, because he is no longer the coach there.
I know, but nobody knows the coach of the Jaguars.
Should go get Cliff Kingsbury.
He is surely coaching the Rams right now. He's busy.
Coaching the who? Cardinals. But yeah.
Yes, correct. You got me.
But
yes, for me, yeah. Go ahead. I hate this.
The Jaguars. They have a lot of young players. I mean, they have all young receivers. They have Marvin Jones. I didn't realize Marvin Jones Jr. is 32 years old. They have Marvin Jones Jr. and then everybody else. They have Zay Jones, who's the oldest at 27. They have so many receivers that are unproven. Didn't Laviska Shenault just get traded? Dang, where did he go? But anyway,
and so Dougie P is their coach. Oh my God, this is a train wreck.
They have, of course, the Jaguars' strength is going to have to be their defensive line and their secondary. I don't really know about their linebackers. They have Devin Lloyd out of Utah, who's a rookie that they drafted. They have Caleb Johnson out of Houston, Chad Muma, and Foye. They did sign Falcons Foye Oluokun, and then they got Shaquille Quarterman. So they have a decent back seven. Their front seven is going to have to hold up because right now you don't really have a lot on their defensive line. So, and then offense, you're getting back Travis Etienne, who tore his ACL and broke his foot on the first practice. You have Trevor Lawrence.
Brother's good though.
Brother's decent. You have Trevor Lawrence, and then you have Evan Ingram at tight end. So, and then you also remember they went and broke the bag on what's his name, Christian Kirk. So they have so much money invested in unproven pieces that I don't know if this gets them. And the thing is, the Houston Texans don't, and I can't say that the Jaguars are better than the Texans.
Which is a tragedy.
You spent all that money for the Jags to be better than the Texans, to be maybe better than the Texans.
When are people going to ask Trevor Lawrence to be good at football?
When they run out of excuses. I mean, the excuses are Urban Meyer was bad. He didn't have anybody else around him. I mean, he was in a toxic situation from the jump. Do
you think I agree. Now I said it. You remember Chidi Pablo, if you want to go back and reference the episode. But for me, Doug Peterson, no. Trevor Lawrence, eventually you're gonna have to be good at football. I know that you came through at a tumultuous time. You are the equivalent of Justin Fields in the AFC, but the rubber and the road must meet soon and very soon. Otherwise, you're gonna look like a bust. I don't like any parts of this team. The only reason that I give this team any level of hope is they are playing next to the Texans, who I just think have to be.
Oh, I was about to say. So that face I was making, y'all, it wasn't a text. I was just looking at the Texans roster, and after making my comment of I can't say that the Jags are better than the Texans, I can say that the Jags are better than the Texans after looking at that roster. Now they do have Derek Stingley Jr. They do have Davis Mills, who was a pleasant surprise. But there's nobody else there's nobody else. I mean, Kendall Sheffield, Tremont Smith. Is that Tremont Smith out of Central Arkansas? Yep. The Texans are so bad at every position.
So the Texans, I'm not even wasting my time talking about.
All right. I think then you got the Titans.
They are the reason that I don't believe that the Falcons are the worst team in the NFL. And I feel very confident in knowing.
You feel confident. I feel disrespected. I feel disrespected.
Oh, I feel slighted and disrespected and insulted. I actually think that the Falcons are better than the Jaguars and the Texans. And I believe we play both teams 10 times, we win 7.
Yep. So then that brings you to the Titans. Ryan Tannehill, mobile Kirk Cousins. They have Derrick Henry. Don't really know who else they have, but at running back, I guess you don't. And I was gonna say you don't need anybody else, but he got hurt, so you do need another running back. They got rid of AJ Brown. They got rid of what's the other receiver out of Central Michigan? Corey Davis. He's gone. So they did draft Traylon Burks out of Arkansas. They did sign Austin Hooper. But they don't have.
You mean the guy who we let go, and then he went to the Browns, and they let him go, and now that's the guy who you crazy as hell.
They did just sign Josh Gordon to the practice squad with hopes of trying to bring him up, but I mean they don't really have any other receivers at all. Now they do have a defense. They're always going to have a defense with Mike Vrabel, but I don't really see it. I don't see it here.
It's over. This is over. This is one of the things where y'all should have broke up a year or two ago. Tannehill is really the downfall of all of this. His ability to not do anything without Derrick Henry. He's proven that Derrick Henry is the guy who is this entire team. And the amount of work that y'all put on Derrick Henry, there's not another human who could even fulfill I think 75% of the capacity. So this team to me just functionally does not work. Tannehill is not it, and I don't know how much more you can expect out of Derrick Henry at the amount of carries that he's getting.
And then you have the Colts. Colts brought in Matt Ryan. They have, of course, Jonathan Taylor. They have Kiki Kuti,
who is arguably the best running back in the NFL.
They have one of the strongest offensive lines with Quentin Nelson.
Correct.
They have a lot of speed at receiver, but they also have a lot of people that are unproven. Michael Pittman Jr. is pretty good. Kiki Kuti, Paris Campbell. But they have a lot of pieces. And, of course, they still have that defense that is beastly. And they added Stephon Gilmore to shore up the cornerback position, who's arguably the best cornerback in the league. They're definitely
in my head, this is going from and before, let me go ahead and clarify before y'all start jiggity jumping to conclusion. I think that there's one level up that the Colts go, not up to Super Bowl contender, one of the best teams, but you know how like the Cavs had David Blatt and they were like
sneaky.
They went to the final. They went to the finals, but when they got Tyronn Lue, they won the championship. I feel like the Colts go from a team that doesn't make the playoffs to a team that wins their conference.
Because of Matt Ryan.
Yes, because
So
I feel like Matt Ryan to Carson Wentz isn't like a massive jump, but it's just enough. It's enough a jump so you don't hit your knees. You get to clear it.
No, I think Matt
But
Ryan.
not by
I
much.
think Carson. Shit. Well, the Carson Wentz we've seen the last 2 years, Matt Ryan is heads and shoulders above him.
Yeah, but I also think that Matt Ryan he's on the tail end of his career, and he's every year he's not quite what he was the year before, and he's never had a cannon for an arm. But I feel like he's just technically more proficient. I think that with a good running game and a good defense, he won't make a ton of mistakes for you. He doesn't lose your games. But don't put him in positions where he got to throw the ball down the field either.
Yeah, and by having a lot of, I'm about to say Wentz to Ryan is a massive jump to me. It's like a.
But nobody else thinks that Matt Ryan is good, but me.
They think that he's better than Carson Wentz. I don't know if that's an indictment on Matt Ryan or if it's more of how lowly people think of Carson Wentz, but it's definitely a big jump. But this team is head and shoulders above everybody else in this division to me. I think the Texans are bad. I think the Jaguars are in another prove it or lose it year. They have them every 4 years. And then you have the Titans.
Lose what?
Prove it or lose it. Like lose everybody. Blow it up again.
Oh.
They do it every year. They have a lot of young players, but I mean, Trevor Lawrence has 2 more years on his contract before you got to extend him? Right? 4 years plus team option? This is really.
That boy he better get hair extensions before he get a team extension.
It's crazy. So let's go ahead and go to.
Can we have 2 4s? That's what I want. I want 2 4s.
You want 2 4s?
Put the Texans and put I forgot the name already. The Jaguars. You can put them together right there.
Bad and worse.
You already know what I was gonna say.
Nah, but
I wouldn't even want to disrespect 3. So yeah, put both of them at 4, and then at 2, you gotta go with the Titans, and then at 1, my man Matty Ice gets him right into the playoffs. Maybe wins 1 game.
Really? Just 1? Yeah. So you saying
Gotta see how it folds out.
All right.
Well, yeah,
so,
definitely them 2 at the bottom. They 4 and 4.
So that's your 4. For me, of course. Damn. For me, of course, I'm actually gonna
move Jaguars.
Yeah. That's about it.
Look at that. Thanks.
I got the Jaguars. I got the Jaguars in 3rd, the Texans in 4th. I think the Jaguars, if they start to click and hit any point of their potential, I think they could give the Titans a little bit of an issue, but I don't think they have the talent, capability, or gusto to stop the Colts. So this is who I have winning this group right here.
Yeah, I think this is open and shut case.
Yes, sir. So real quick, let's go ahead and jump right to AFC East. Who you got?
It's kind of the same thing. Well, the Jets are just. I mean, Joe Flacco's your starting quarterback. I'm not going to spend any more time talking to anybody else about anything else. Joe Flacco's your starting quarterback, and then once you get Zachary Taylor Thomas back, it doesn't get any better for you. So Jets are trash. The Patriots. What happened to the Patriot way? I remember this thing where You would never talk in practice. You let Bill Belichick degrade you at any moment's notice. Uh, Everybody does the same thing. Nobody's big enough to be bigger than the organization. The organization is too big to fail. And then Tom Brady left. When Tom Brady left, everybody looked pretty regular to me, including Bill Belichick. And if you're mad about it, well, let me let you know. I don't care. You could always win games. I think that Mac Jones is regular. I don't know why the rest of the world believes in him. He is kind of like the Derek Carr of the AFC East, as far as I'm concerned. So, yes, I don't believe in the Patriots. I don't believe in the Jets. Then in the herd real quick. Then we have multiracial McDaniel and Tua.
Well, yeah, I think you can go ahead and X out Patriots Jets. I mean, to me, we can go to the screen and go ahead and post who's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, but it's pretty much in order right here. I think the Bills are going to be better than the Jets. I mean, this is pretty much it right here.
Wonderful. It was a wonderful graphic you guys put together here. I think y'all did this on purpose. Yeah, Jets toast, Pats toast. I think that the Dolphins have the biggest opportunity.
Yes, because they added Tyreek Hill. They're just so small. They're small and fast at every position on offense. Literally every position. Everybody's small and fast. So,
but this is, and that's all good. Until, small and fast is cool as long as you avoid people. But eventually, you can't avoid all of them, kind of like your problems. And eventually, one of them's gonna catch up to you. And at that point, I think all falls down like Kanye West and Selena Johnson.
I think Tyreek Hill makes them a threat. I think Tyreek Hill is so fast and so good that wherever he goes, he makes them a threat to me, especially when you pair him with Jalen Waddle. Now, it's all on Tua. Tua, you ain't got no more excuses now. You got two guys that run sub 4.3 40s, and you have a guy that's supposed to be an offensive guru in multiracial McDaniels, who studied under the best offensive minds in Shanahan.
Tutelage.
Right? So you're supposed to have all of those guys.
Mike Gesicki, too.
Mike Gesicki. So you have all of these guys. You don't have any more excuses. There is no more excuses. There are no more excuses. And you got a good defense. You got Xavier Howard at cornerback. You have Christian Wilkins at D tackle. Their linebackers are sus. I think Kiko Alonso still plays. Is still in the league. Is that a still in the league candidate?
I'm gonna tell you this. In my big age, 36 years old, when people say that you don't have any excuses, that typically means they don't have a whole lot of faith. They're trying to point out to you that there is no reason why you are not doing this job good, but somehow you are still, in fact, doing this job not good.
Tua got exposed, man. Tua got exposed in the national championship game. He can't read coverages. He is a fake throw. And once you figure that out, they have done the same coverage to him every game since that national championship against Clemson, where A.J. Terrell picked off his first pass. It's the same thing. All you do is guard the first thing, make him read, and if he can't do it, he's going to get sacked or he's going to throw an interception. That's how they beat him. And until he figures out how to get past that, you can surround him with anybody. You're not beating Josh Allen. I throw the ball and I'm 6'5" and I can throw the ball 80 yards. Allen, who has added pieces to his team as well. They got James Cook at running back to go in with all the other people that they have.
Yep, you sure did. Lil Dalvin. The
Bills are out here. They are a problem too. So yeah. Oh, and they added Von Miller to their defense that was already stacked. Like they were literally They were one because I think the Bills beat the Patriots. I mean, I think the Bills beat the Bengals. They were one coin flip away from going to the Super Bowl. One coin flip to me. And I don't think this team regressed anywhere. And obviously, nobody in this division, only team that even cut it the deficit in half. You had to add Tyreek Hill to cut the deficit in half. Is the Dolphins
gave up 100 draft picks in the process.
274. So
And you broke
Obviously,
bread on it. You spend a lot of money, and you better hope you can drive that car because that's a manual. That is not an automatic.
no,
Just because
sir.
it look fun, don't mean that you can drive it, my boy.
We gonna do
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
We gonna do this
Leave the
for
jets off. Leave the jets off. Don't even put them
no,
on
I
the
would put the
graphic.
jets on there.
No.
We gonna do this for purposes.
No,
For
put them
posting
below
purposes.
the 4. Put them below the 4 now.
Put them at 4.5.
No, put them down there. Put them in the blue. Put them in the deep blue sea. That's where they belong, in oblivion. Don't disrespect the number 4 like that. At number three, I guess we got the Jaguars.
No, East. Pats.
Oh, no. Yes, correct. No, yes. The Patriots. There's just this team is just. This is what happens when you don't have Tom Brady. This is what happens when you turn back into a pumpkin. There is no Patriot way. Asante Samuel said it best. It is Tom Brady. That is the Patriot way. And I think we're finding that out. The Dolphins, you're the rich kid who got all the toys. You're still not cool. We still don't really like you, but you got a lot of nice toys.
You got a Super Nintendo, though,
Yeah.
so you got to play. You got a Sega Dreamcast. You got a Sega, so we about to come over there.
We will come over to your house, but we still don't like you. Then you have Josh Allen. He is the leader of the pack. He is the cool friend, and he can outrun all of you, and he can probably beat all of you in a fight too.
Yes, sir. So, I have the exact same thing. I don't believe
Running theme here.
the Patriots. I wouldn't. I was about to try to make some content.
Go ahead.
I would push the Patriots up to 2, but you know why you can't do that? Because they don't have an offensive coordinator.
Adam Gase.
Adam Gase who? What is he?
Adam Gase.
He's the quarterback coach?
No, you remember I told you about Sam Darnold and you tried to blame who? Adam Gase. So now go ahead. I want you to put the Patriots, put them at number 1. There's so many people who believe that the Patriots are good, and I do not know why.
I can't do it.
For the life of me. I cannot understand for the life of me why people believe the Patriots are good and the Raiders are good. Every time I look, what do y'all see? You know how people date people and they be like, oh, I love everything about this person. I'm looking like that person? That one? That ain't my business because it ain't my team, just like that ain't my lady. But if it was me, I wouldn't be interested at all. I look at you differently because you interested in that. And if you believe that the Patriots are a good football team, have big questions on your football acumen. But it's not my problem because I have my own podcast.
All right. Okay. I was saying I would put so I actually had a joke, but you kind of didn't let me get the joke out. But I'm going to say it anyway. It's my podcast. The Patriots, I said I would move them up to 2 and maybe consider it, but I don't know who their offensive coordinator is because they don't have one. Bill Belichick is their offensive coordinator. He's the co-offensive coordinator with all of the other coaches on the team. Like, this is rec ball. So, no, they're definitely 3. And that just tells me for a team to have no offensive coordinator to still be ranked ahead of you, you are a poor franchise. You are a poorly run franchise. You are horrible. Now, Sauce Gardner I don't know if the nicknames.
You're going to have plenty of chances. You're going to have plenty of chances to be defensive.
I don't know if Jets. If his reputation has grown since going to the league, but they didn't even try him in preseason. Like, they just didn't throw the ball to him.
Whoa! Didn't we play the Jets?
Yeah.
Didn't we score on Sauce?
No. We scored on everybody else.
I think one of them Kyle Pitts touchdown was on Sauce.
He made a catch on Sauce. He made a catch on him. He didn't catch it wasn't a touchdown.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I do think that he's going to end up probably rookie defensive player of the year.
Yeah, they had a baby together. Damn, sneaky boy. But so finally, this is what we think with the AFC East. And then finally, let's go ahead and talk about possibly the best division in football.
Possibly.
I mean, the AFC North has something to say. The AFC North has something to say.
Yeah, until you get over here.
But this team, this may be the best collection of quarterbacks in one division in a long time. You have Russell Wilson, you have Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and of course, Derek Carr. Derek Carr. Um,
David, Derek, same person.
the thing about this is each one of these teams, in their own unique way, got better. The Raiders got Devontae Adams. The Broncos got Russell Wilson, amongst a couple other people. And got rid of Drew Lock. The Chargers got Khalil Mack. And Kansas City literally got every other receiver that's decent in exchange for Tyreek Hill through picks and through the draft. So all of these teams have gotten better.
And Juju.
That's all of them. That's all the receivers. Mm-hmm. They replaced Tyreek Hill with like 4
draft picks. Yeah, Yeah,
I said receivers and draft picks. They replaced him with 7 people.
Correct.
So
and they know what they're doing. They do a good job of replacing people.
One thing about Kansas City that I am eager to see is I think that they'll lean on the run a little bit more this year, which is interesting because that means you're taking the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, or maybe you run a lot of jet sweeps, jet screens, tunnel screens, something like that. But they don't have that element anymore without Tyreek Hill of as soon as he touches the ball, there's nothing you can do. Like, they don't have that anymore. There's nobody on that field that has that. I mean, no team has that. But what I'm saying is they're missing that element. That was a big element. They're looking for Mecole Hardman to take a step and just use his speed, but he's straight line speed. And he's track speed. So he's got to get to his speed after 30 meters. Tyreek Hill was God speed.
And I agree. They're just not another Tyreek Hill laying around. But what you do have is Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Van Scantling. You have Clyde Evans-Hilaire. You have Jarek. You have Pacheco. And you have one more guy. I can't think of his name right now.
Pacheco.
I don't want to say Ronald Jones. Yes. So
Ronald Jones
it's where you don't have that one guy who's just a murderer like Tyreek. You can spread it around between probably 8 or 9 different players.
Oh no, they do have Ronald Jones. They did sign Ronald Jones.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
So you have a full running back stable. And each guy does their own different thing. Mm-hmm. You have competent wide receivers who can all catch the ball.
Hey man. Oh, I'll go ahead. They possibly have a rookie of the year candidate in Sky Moore.
Exactly. You have Sky Moore, and you still have Kelce, who's the best tight end in the NFL. And you have Patrick Mahomes, which could very well be he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. And you have Andy Reid, who actually knows what he's doing. All of that together.
But their defenses, there's some holes in their defense.
Yeah, but you got to be willing to score 35 points a night.
Everybody
can't do that.
You're right. Everybody can't. But I'm looking at their defense. There's no real names other than Chris Jones that pop off this defense. Frank Clark ain't it. Mike Dana. Carlos Dunlap is old. Malik Herring out of Georgia. He's slow.
Bend don't break. Bend don't break. Bend don't break.
Yeah.
Patty Mahomes is going to score 35 points. Hey, if we give up 21 points and they score 35, that's a win. I don't care what it looks like. I want the W and go home to the next one.
Yep. So still stacked on off. I don't know about stacked. Justin Herbert has improved every year while he's here, almost to the same extent. I think he was better than Josh Allen coming out, but he improved every year, similar to Josh Allen. So this year he now has to deal with a whole lot of expectations because he is now viewed as one of the top quarterbacks in the top 15 quarterbacks in the league. To me,
he has to re-show me that he's that good. I don't want to say I've just seen so many guys have that one really good season, and then we're ready to crown that guy. Oh, he's it for the future because we've seen Josh Allen and we've seen Patrick Mahomes, and we're starting to see that next crop of Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, uh, Tom Brady guys, and I think he's just a quick answer. But
Justin
I'm not
Herbert.
sure.
Do you know what he?
I just
Do you know his stats last year?
I agree. I agree. But I don't. One year doesn't make me trust you. There's too many people who have one good year in sports and then go back to being themselves.
You trust Joe Burrow though?
You know,
you trust Joe Burrow?
Huh?
You trust Joe Burrow?
Yeah. For me, it's an eye test. I just feel like Joe Burrow looks like he's been there a million times.
How does?
Because
How does Joe?
Because of the way that because of the way he handles it. Nothing seems to shake Burrow. I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. He just looked unshakable. And the other part was he was getting murdered last year because his offensive line wasn't blocking. And he still, quarterbacks, that's one of the things that they get sensitive about. I'm getting hit all the time. A lot of quarterbacks, specifically the car kid, they get very. That's one of the few things that would definitely like shake a QB, and for Burrows to keep rolling and getting massacred at the same time, yes, I think that he deals with he. I feel confident in the way that he deals with adversity. I'm not sure about that with Herbert yet.
Man, Herbert was sacked 32 times last year.
How many times was Burrow sacked?
Probably 40. Let me see. But anyway, it's just I laughed because it's interesting how Joe Burrow has done it 1 year, and you said it's an eye test, but I mean, I want to say Justin Herbert threw for more yards. Justin Herbert threw for 5,300 yards last year, 38 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. That's a hell of a non-eye test, right? For you to say you take Joe Burrow, he was sacked 51 times, who threw for 4,600 yards.
And how many times was 51 versus 30?
37.
Oh, okay. That's a season worth of sacks.
So to me, as I'm saying, for you to say that Joe Burrow is it, he's that guy, he's the next this, that, and the third after one season, but then saying somebody who had a better season than Joe Burrow is not it. It's just I'm trying to understand the logic in that one.
I've seen Joe Burrow play that season in LSU. I did not watch Justin Herbert as closely. So those 2 seasons consecutive do mean something to me. There was never a drop off in
Justin
confidence.
Herbert, so your eye test is flawed.
I didn't say that it wasn't. I said this is my opinion.
No, you said it's eye test for me is what you said.
Yes, I've seen more. I have more data on Joe Burrow. So yes, for me, I feel more confident in him. Herbert, if you're as good as you say you are, show me again. I think that's fair and reasonable.
It's just interesting that you could say this. Every point you're making for Herbert, you can make for Burrow, is my point. But I
didn't say that wasn't true. It's just that I've only seen one of these guys. The guy who I've seen is the guy who I trust.
Fair. So, but they did add defense. We talked about Khalil Mack, man. That I don't know how you're able to add Khalil Mack. I mean, I know how you're able to add. You find out that he's on a terrible team and he's disgruntled. So you now have the Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa.
The better question is how come we can never add that guy?
Because we didn't have the money to add that guy.
We don't ever have the money guy. But other teams, that's like Jalen Ramsey. How did the Rams get Jalen Ramsey? How?
Picks.
And then get Von Miller. How come we didn't have... You get these picks, you can get whatever you need. We just... That is a frustration of mine. We just never get a guy who's like, oh, this guy's the best guy in the NFL. We just traded for him. Nope, that guy's never even available to us.
Yeah, but
his off-brand nephew.
The Chargers defense, man, with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Kenneth Murray Jr. quietly has assimilated into the NFL very well. Linebacker out of Oklahoma. They also have, I can't pronounce his name, but they have Amin Agbanbinmiga from Ohio. I just remember him from Oklahoma State. He's definitely pretty good. I think their secondary is a little. No, they got Derwin James. I'm stupid. They got Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. So they do have to replace Casey Hayward, but that defense, you lose Casey Hayward, but then you also bring in Khalil Mack. So
even swap, no swindle.
I don't know if that's an even swap, but it's definitely not a swindle. Jamari Sawyer. Then you shored up the offensive line with Jamari Sawyer. You got as a steal in the third round, and then you get Austin Eckler back, and then you sign Sony Michel. So they have a lot of pieces. They definitely are putting a lot on the back of Justin Herbert because, of course, they have Keenan Allen.
I think
Josh Palmer, Mike Williams for Clemson.
Which team do you think is better? Throw the quarterback out. Which team do you think is better? Chargers,
Kansas City, or Broncos? Well, and then you have the Raiders, who are basically Devontae Adams.
the Broncos. Well,
the Raiders
Broncos
are actually kind of a
figure out.
shit show, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean,
Why?
I guess you're right. I'm talking about Derwin James.
I know.
And
Why don't you like that? He didn't play last year. He's really good. He's better. They had him better than Jamal Adams.
No,
comparable to
very
Jamal
good.
Adams.
I mean, I guess you got to do that. I guess you have to. I just don't like to count. I feel like you kind of double counting the guy. Like we've already counted for this defense being good, but he is an addition that you did not have last year, and they were already good.
So you basically added him and Khalil Mack. So yeah, they're a beast.
The Broncos, I still don't.
Whose defense?
I
may
don't
be
feel
better.
like I like the Broncos, but I don't feel like they're. I feel like they're kind of in the same spot as the Cardinals,
What do you mean?
where you'll probably have more expectation than result.
I think
that for them, they're just in a worse situation. But I want to hear how you got these ranked out. This is interesting because somebody got to be 4, and somebody got to be 1.
So the Broncos, their defense is ridiculous, though. I do want to highlight their defense. Their DBs, their secondary with Patrick Surtain the second, PJ Lockett the safety. They're a problem with Justin Simmons. And then on offense, now they have Melvin Gordon. They have Brett Rippon. Mark Rippon's son is still okay. Russell Wilson. They have KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy. Then they got a Cortland Sutton. They got a bunch of receivers. So Cortland Sutton, they have to put a lot of. They're hoping that Russell Wilson can bring their receiving core up to the next level, because Jerry Jeudy is kind of similar to CeeDee Lamb to me, right?
And that is literally what I have in these notes. Can the rest of the Broncos play to the standard of Russell Wilson? That is going to be the make or break question. And if the question is no, then less responsibility falls onto Drew Lock. If the answer is yes, then boy, Drew Lock, you can go ahead and head to the CFL.
So let's get to ranking these teams, because this is the last division, ain't it?
Yep.
Let's get to ranking these teams. This is not the AFC East. We are now in the AFC West. You want me to go first this time?
Yeah. So you won't steal my.
Why ain't nobody steal nothing? You can't steal common sense. A lot of that stuff was common sense we had to say. So I have the Raiders 4th. I have the Raiders 4th. I think that this is pretty much the end of the Raiders. I think Devontae Adams and Derek Carr are there, but they're going to get rid of everybody that Mike Mayock drafted. How they get rid of them is kind of up to them.
Fired. Fire
fired
sale,
or
son.
suspended or whatever. Everybody he's drafted, including they got rid of Alex Leatherwood, who had a second to third round grade, but they traded up to draft him. They literally cut him after 1 year. Um, so the Raiders do have a lot of pieces, but I don't know if they finish higher than fourth. So then third for me, it's kind of upsetting.
Come on with it now. Come on with it. I've been waiting on us to get to it. Let's get to it.
I got the Broncos third. Got the Broncos third. This is difficult for me because I think the Broncos defense is really good, but I just can't put them ahead of the Chiefs yet. Secondly, drum roll, please.
You didn't already told what it is now.
The Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are second in this division. I think that Patty Mahomes gets them to within a game, but I think that the Chargers' improvements that they've added, them getting healthy, and I am a Justin Herbert believer, I think that they win the division and come in first.
No. Raiders, I agree with. So poor decision. Derek Carr never should have been your quarterback. He's not really that good. Nobody believes in him. The only reason they believe in him now is because he brought Devontae Adams in. Open and shut case for me. Rest of their team is even less interesting, not more interesting. The Broncos, I feel like Russell Wilson he's gonna be their Sierra. Gonna treat them better than they've been treated in a very long time. I still don't think that he's going to be able to raise their standard enough to be number one or number two, though. I think that the Chargers do make the playoffs, but I do not think that they end up number one. I trust the offense of the Chiefs more. I trust the coaching of the Chiefs more. I trust the experience of the Chiefs more. Those factors are what lead me to believe that the Chiefs are the number one team in the AFC West.
I feel you. I like it. I like it a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if we're going to do the whole playoff bracket right now. Just because that would take forever.
Yeah, we could just do your seating.
So let's do the playoff bracket. So as of now, of course, it goes 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can do this. So who's the number one seed in the AFC?
Chiefs.
This is for Norwood. You said the Chiefs.
Yep.
Who's the number 2 seed?
Bills.
I like it. And I'm sorry, they actually go here.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, no, they don't need to play. Yeah, Chiefs and Bills. Then the last four, I have Bengals, Chargers.
As the third seed?
Oh no. Bills. No. I have Bengals third seed.
Okay.
Then I have Chargers fourth seed.
No, you can't. You said you had. Oh yeah, Chargers 4 seed. Yeah. You're right. Wow. No, because they can't be 4 seed. They didn't win the division. You gotta have a division winner.
You're right. The Colts.
Dang, that sucks. They got the number one defense and the number one running back, and they're gonna finish fourth. but it's a tough division. It's a tough conference.
That's life. That is life.
So who you got fifth?
That is where I have the Chargers, and then I have the Ravens.
So you do have the Ravens getting in.
Yep.
All right. I like it. So we'll stop there. We don't have to go through the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. Now tell me your NFC teams.
Numero uno, the Bucks. They walk in.
As the number 1 seed? Yeah, because the NFC is putrid.
Yep. Then I have the Rams.
And the number 2 seed?
Yep.
Okay.
This stinks so bad. Then the Packers, Rodgers,
As
and
the
the
3 seed.
Cowboys. Those are the division winners.
You got as the 4th seed, you got the Cowboys?
Yep. They win the East.
1,
This
2,
is where it gets interesting.
4.
No,
So
it
the-
doesn't. I think it's pretty
You
easy.
said who'd you have as the 3rd seed? Yeah, Cowboys as the 4th seed, right?
Yes.
Who'd you have as the 3rd seed?
NFC South, NFC West, NFC East, NFC. Oh, the Packers, the Packers and Rodgers. And then I have not them for sure. I got the 49ers as a wild card.
Mm-hmm. In the 5th seed.
Jeez. Yes. And the Vikings at 6 without. I feel like they have the most weapons. They'll just. Yeah.
So a rematch of the NFC North.
Yep. And then I see
6.
Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl.
Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl.
Yep. Run that thing back.
All right, I'll add that in. So this is Norwood's bracket starting off. And then he has Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl. I'm going to go a little bit different. Obviously, I have the Chargers winning the division. So I am going to put the Buffalo Bills in first place, number 1 overall seed in the AFC. Put the Chargers as second. I put the Bengals at third, Colts at fourth. I put the rematch with the Chiefs at fifth, and I put the Ravens at sixth. And I actually have the Ravens probably upsetting the Colts.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Now, getting to the NFC East. Number 1 overall seed. Yes. I mean, the NFC is so bad that this is probably not going to change much. The Buccaneers are the number 1 overall seed. I think that the Rams are the number 2 overall seed. I think that the number 3 overall seed, though. Oh, I'm sorry. Did not mean to move them all. The number 3 overall seed is going to be NFC South. 1 versus 3. Yeah. The Eagles. So I remember I don't have the Cowboys winning the division. I have the Eagles winning the division. I'm sorry, they're not going to be the number 3 overall seed. I lied. So let's move them here. They'll be number 4. They'll be the number 4 overall seed. They'll be the number 4 overall seed. The number 3 overall seed will be the Vikings. No, that's wild, crazy talk. The Eagles will be the number 3 overall seed. The Vikings will be the number 4 overall seed. So then My wild cards, of course, Green Bay will be number 5.
Green Bay and Vikings in a wild card. That's a hell of a game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I have the Cowboys. Hold on. NFC East, North. The South is a no. The North
The
is
NFC East gonna get 2?
the NFC. Oh, shoot. The NFC West. I'm sorry. Well, the West already got 2. How did I get here? I'm sorry. The 49ers go here. Trip it. Matter of fact.
I was
Yeah, the 49ers are the fifth seed. The Packers are the 6th seed.
and that's a very good. That's a great playoff. Mine is a little bit more chalk. Yours is. This is the
must see football.
Yeah, I see what you did here. You didn't pick what you thought was going to happen. You said this is perfect.
Well, I did pick the division winners. Picking the division winners is what made it interesting. By picking the Eagles and the Vikings, I'm now saying that the Cowboys or the 49ers don't get in. I think the 49ers get in. Matter of fact, let's do this. I'm even going to take it a step further.
Yeah, because I think that
this is tough.
All of those games, that wild card weekend is shit. That's it. That's must see TV.
Matter of fact, I may change this out. I don't want that there. I want them here.
Oh, now you're just making stuff up.
2 NFC. Nah, that's not gonna happen. I'm trying to be funny, but no, it's not gonna happen. The 49ers are definitely gonna make it because I believe in Kyle Shanahan. So I have,
and then
you're right. This is interesting.
All 8 of those teams could win that game.
I have the Cowboys missing the playoffs.
I mean, if you got the Eagles there, that's not unreasonable. But that's just sad.
The Vikings is a tough play. But I'm gonna do it. I'm sticking with it. I am going off the reservation. I'm saying the Cowboys don't make the playoffs. They fire Mike McCarthy. Blessing in disguise. And I think the Vikings make it.
And pick your Super Bowl then. Bills Bucks.
That's tough. I don't want Bills Bucks. I don't want to pick Bills Bucks. But I don't want 2 California teams either.
That'd be great.
I'm going to go. I don't know whether to go Bills, Rams, or Chargers, Bucks.
That's 2 LA teams. What are you talking about? Not 2 California teams.
Yeah.
It's LA Chargers, LA Rams.
I don't know if to go Bills, Rams, or Chargers, Bucks. But I'm going to go. Sneaky said put a 24 pack on the fact that the Cowboys don't make the playoffs.
Sneaky, why he ain't saying nothing?
That's a hell of a bet.
Sneaky, he's silent, don't Hey, Reggie, can you turn the volume up? I think Sneaky is waiting on you to respond to his request.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to figure out my Super Bowl pick. I'm going to go Chargers Bucks.
Sneaky said he trying to pick what beer he going to drink with that 24-pack. Talk about his team like
I'm going to go Chargers Bucks. I'm going to go Chargers Bucks.
He said that your team not even going to make the playoffs, Sneak.
If the Cowboys don't make the playoffs, that would just be utter chaos.
And Matt Olson just hit a home run in Oakland.
But let's see. The NFC East is the Giants, the Cardinals, the Cowboys. I'm sorry, the Giants, the Commandos, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning the division. Yeah. It's either. So it's either. Yeah, no, I'm sticking with it. I'm here. I'll let you know about the 24 pack. But I'm here though. But I'm here though. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes, man. We truly appreciate y'all. I'm probably gonna release this in 2 videos, AFC, NFC. We will have a post out tomorrow with our picks. Y'all let us know how crazy we are or how safe we are. Let us know. Norwood, if we didn't miss anything,
you know, never miss anything. This was the NFL preview before the season. Also, remember to go back. We did an NCAA preview so you can know what's going on with college, which we nailed. Let me go ahead and tell you, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach. I'm going to stretch and pat my own self on the back. I'm glad that everybody got hit this week, but I assume that we did the same thing with the NFL preview. And now that we've nailed that, and it has been a wonderful and blessed Tuesday, it's only one thing for me and Reggie to do now. What's that, my friend? Hang out. We out this joint. Listen to this. Absorb the football knowledge that we are imparting you with so you can go out and tell your friends this and impress them with everything that you know because you learned to hear at the Splashcast.
We appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Peace. Adios, mi amigos.
Like everything on Facebook. God is love. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Tell your friends.
Go listen to episode 69. Around the League is out right now. We combined both episodes so that we could give you this NFL